Hi there. I had a few things I wanted to go over here that I'm realizing a lot of us deal with. I've been talking to different people in my circles and community, as well as reflecting through my own experiences, and realized that there's two really big components that I have a feeling you'll be able to relate to. These components have to do with transitioning into more embodied versions of ourselves, more authentic and aligned and free and expressive versions of ourselves. The two different concepts are imposter syndrome and fear of the unknown. I know reframing your mind can literally rewrite your life. Our perspectives and beliefs shape our reality. What we look for and believe and see is what we are subconsciously creating in this world. I was reflecting with someone who I consider to be a mentor of mine. I was congratulating her on some of her work. She was saying that the congratulations meant a lot because she was having really big imposter syndrome around it. First of all, it's interesting when we have imposter syndrome because we feel that separation between what we're used to doing and what we are currently doing. To people on the outside, oftentimes it makes perfect sense, or it's extremely aligned or valid or beautiful what they're creating. And I got this download about how imposter syndrome really is us bridging the gap between where we are in this present moment, what we're moving through and used to have been moving through, and where we're going. If you're spiritual like me, you understand that time isn't linear. Our souls come here to help remember things and learn these lessons. To me, I'm noticing it's kind of the integration between what our human vessel in the physical has already experienced, crossing over and bridging the gap with what our soul already knows and remembers. Instead of allowing imposter syndrome to make you think that you're not smart enough or skilled enough or capable or valid enough to be able to share or create or any of those aspects of something, just remember that your soul is deep and vast, and it can be your guiding light if you'd like it to be, but it's going to lead you to trying new things and expressing yourself differently and following that gut feeling even when you're not necessarily the most confident in it. And I've experienced this myself. I've been offering a lot of oracle and tarot readings to people that in turn have transitioned into being a bit more of divination and mediumship downloads. And I'm getting crazy imposter syndrome because it's something I haven't really done too much with. On top of a lot of the people I'm reading for, I haven't met in the physical. I don't have tons of context and background as to what they've been through, what they're going through. So for me to channel a message and say that their godfather or their grandfather has come in with something they want to share with them, I get really nervous because I know that's really big stakes and that's going to be really important to someone. Every time I share these messages and every time I step through that imposter syndrome and trust that my soul is guiding my way for me and teaching my physical vessel things that my soul already knows, it allows me to lean into the trust and trust my magic and my capabilities and my ability to help shine lights on things for people and heal people too. By allowing us to trust ourselves and trust our soul, I think we can more seamlessly bridge that gap between what's familiar and what's unfamiliar, what we have tons of reps doing and what we're starting to dip our toes into the water. It's only our human form that hasn't done this multiple times in a row. Our soul has a lot of experiences. A lot of us aren't here for the first time, and we've had many lifetimes, whether they're on earth or not. And I think the more we can trust ourselves and lean into that, the more we can head towards where we're meant to go, but also cultivate that self-love, self-trust, that empowerment, that confidence that we were born here destined to have. The second thing I wanted to touch on is fear of the unknown. And I feel like these two kind of dabble into each other, but they can also be very separate. A lot of times we have to make decisions that are different for us, that can be new types of partners, new boundaries with ourselves, new locations or jobs or anything. And it's really normal for us to become really fearful of what we haven't done before, what we don't know yet, because our brain automatically goes into, well, what could go wrong? And the anxieties creep in and all of the doubts and wanting to stay in the safe and cozy familiar. Realistically, that's your ego just doing its job. That's your ego trying to make sure that you stay safe and you're comfortable and you're taken care of. We can thank our ego for doing what it thinks it needs to do, and we can still embrace the fear of the unknown, especially if we know it's better for us. Fear of the unknown, I think, is very much linked to like the different karmic patterns and karmic cycles we have, and karma is just a law of nature of cause and effect. And I think as we learn through our own karmic patterns, and I'll use like relationships for an example of how we might be choosing the same partner over and over again until we learn the lesson and break the cycle. Then when it's time to choose a completely different partner, someone that we might find interesting but we are not necessarily comfortable pursuing, we might find it to be a little bit intimidating or awkward or just not feeling as natural, and we might take that as a sign as it's not meant to be, but in reality, it's just pursuing something new, with the awareness that that old cycle that we were a part of was here to teach us something. It's something we no longer need to fulfill and keep living through over and over again. It's there to teach us boundaries, to teach us to use our voice, to be our authentic self. There's so many different reasons why we enter karmic relationships. You know, a lot of it can deal with familiarities, the way that we've seen our parents' dynamics go, or we've seen friends or relatives' dynamics, or what society makes us think we should be looking for in a relationship, what have it be. I think as we can lean into fear of the unknown, also trusting that it is a way for us to shed our old and continue to evolve into the version of ourselves that our soul has always been. The version of ourselves maybe that we were programmed not to embody, but at the end of the day, we can feel the resonance and feel the need to be able to step into something different. We can live as many lifetimes as we need to in just this one lifetime. I feel like I've shed 1,000 layers and lived 1,000 realities. That beauty in the impermanence and viewing Earth as this playground, this experiment to keep shifting and changing and leveling up and being courageous through fear. You know, it's not about being fearless. It's acknowledging fear, holding space for it, and still having the courage and willpower and desire and drive to be able to carry on and move forward through it. Whether it's a new location, a new person, a new approach to an old dynamic, or a new relationship with ourselves too. I think it's imposter syndrome or fear of the unknown can really start to be exposed a bit and show us a lot of things that are important to confront and hold space for. I think viewing things as reprogramming and deprogramming can be really powerful and give you your power back. When we address the things that we've been taught and conditioned for and fed from our family or our education, or what the content we consume, the workplace we're in, just the stories that we tell ourselves on repeat, where your attention goes, energy flows, and that's where everything grows. So as we're able to approach these thoughts of, I need to be this kind of person, or I need to feel this certain way, or this is how my day is going to go, what if we programmed to see the best case scenario in things? What if instead of worrying about all the things that we don't want to go wrong, we sit there and we visualize everything going right? And instead of I hope it doesn't go this way, we say, I'm thankful that it went this way. You can feel an energetic shift inside of you, and it's a lot more expansive and peaceful when you're able to step into the space of, I'm thankful that this happened, talking about future events. We call in what we're aligned with. We call in what we're resonant with. The more we call in that fear and feel that tightness and constriction within us, the I'm not good enough, the imposter syndrome, the fear of the unknown, as we embody, like in our body, sense that constriction, the more those things are going to be attracted to us. We have an energy field around us. It's like a magnet. But the more we trust and hold peace and space and love for different aspects and outcomes, the more you can feel your heart space open up, the more you can take a deep breath and feel it kind of wash over you and feel your feet on the ground and your heart in the right place. And you'll be able to see and attract and experience a lot more of that peaceful, expansive, dynamic energy. So I love these kinds of topics. I hope some of this resonates, and I'd love to hear any reflections you have. I know I touched upon having done some card readings for people, and I love doing them. I feel like the more I do them, the stronger they get, and that's been a big block of mine, is moving into the fear of the unknown and moving past the imposter syndrome and trusting the feedback that I'm getting and the resonance that I'm feeling in my soul. So I will link below a couple options that you can get a hold of me if you would be interested in receiving one yourself. Have a beautiful day.